महाराज की जय, प्रभुपाद की जय। धन्यवाद माताजी। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to all the assembled devotee, Mama Nama Saranagata Devi Dasi. हम क्लार्सबर्ग नगरी गोस्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय।
हरे कृष्णा। गुरु महाराज की जय, प्रभुपाद की जय। धन्यवाद माताजी। हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा। सुमति माताजी, अनर्षिता माताजी, मम नाम हलाधर दास, हम श्रीवड नगरे वसामी। प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय। My humble obeisance to all the devotees on the phone call. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा। गुरु महाराज की जय, प्रभुपाद की जय। धन्यवाद प्रभु जी। हरे कृष्णा। Hare Krishna. Would anybody else like to announce their names? Hare Krishna. Would anybody else like to announce their names? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Mataji. So Rekha Mataji and Surinder Prabhu, they joined first time today. So we can welcome to them in our traditional way by chanting 3 times Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
So Rekha Mataji is from Ellicott City and Surinder Prabhu is from Bethesda, Rockville. So last week we went to New Vrindavan for the senior connection group, and they like this chanting and classes every day. So they are here. So hope we will get their association every day. So welcome to the call, Rekha Mataji and Surinder. So
Hare
Mataji, please
Krishna
take over.
Mataji, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna. Today we are reading chapter 16, the divine and the demonic natures, text 1. Hare Krishna. Mataji, please take over the call now. Hare Krishna.
Also, Mataji, would you like to announce about Gopal Krishna Maharaj just departed? Saranagata Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam to all the assembled devotee. I also heard today morning about the departure of Gopal, His Holiness Nitya Leela Pravishta, Shri Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. He was here, I think, 2 years back. That time I took his darshan and heard few classes. He joined the movement very early. He was from a very pious family. He was very well educated, and he was very peak of his career when he left everything and joined the Prabhupada's movement. And that since that young age, he was serving Srila Prabhupada. And so yesterday, India's 9:30 morning a.m., he left his this material world and went back to Golok Vrindavan Dham. So we will offer our prayers to this great devotee and offer our respect because he came here and he dedicated his life to many of us and guided us, in progressing in our Krishna consciousness. So Hari Bol and Hari Krishna again to all our acharyas, our parampara, and Nitya Leela Pravishta, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj ki Jai.
Okay.
With this, we will start our today's class. Give me 1 second. Okay. So, we generally start class with offering Mangala Charan prayer. These prayers are prayers offered to first Guru, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of the entire parampara. There are many Goswamis that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's six prominent Goswamis, they were disciple of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who helped him spread this Krishna consciousness. So we offer our obeisances to them, then to Lord Krishna, Radharani, and then we start our class. So these are these prayers. Yes, Mataji, is recording started?
Yes, Mataji, it's being live streamed.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah.
I shared the link also on the group.
ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगण रघुनाथान्वितान् त्वं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम् श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam everyone. So today we are starting new chapter and this chapter is the divine and demonic nature. So Bhagavad Gita is if you divide them into the six chapters. So first six chapters of the Bhagavad Gita they gave us they are there to give us knowledge about karma yoga. What is the karma and how you can do how you can become a perfect karma yogi. Of course, karma yoga also, I mean, if you are doing good to others, it starts with praying and dedicating our life to Krishna, and then you will be able to spread the good, or you will be able to do the karma which you can offer it to Krishna, or the karma which will be pleasing to the Krishna. So first six chapters, Krishna is talking to Arjuna and talking to him about all this, how you can be a perfect karma yogi. After that, 7 to 12 chapters, those six chapters are dedicated for the devotional service. Here, Krishna is talking about the importance of the devotional service, what he will get it if you are become a devotee. Is telling him Krishna, telling Arjuna that how to recognize these devotees. They are always engaged in talking about me. They always, when the devotees meet, they like to talk about my glories and how they are always engaged in spreading the Krishna consciousness. This is the greatest service to the mankind because people think that like just chanting or big book distributing how it is going to serve any good to anyone. But like Krishna consciousness or this chanting is the only way to get rid of all three kinds of the miseries. We all are suffering from the miseries, and these are three kinds. They are divided into three different type of miseries: Adi Bhautik, Adhyatmik, and Adi Daivik. That means miseries, those are caused due to our own body. I mean, something is happening, I'm having a stomach ache or there is a virus. So these are the adhyatmic misery. The second type of miseries are adi bhautik. So these are caused because of the people around you or the insects around you or anything like, in the environment you see so many living beings and though because miseries caused by them, they are called as the adi bhautik miseries. And third type of miseries are adi daivik. So these are caused due to, like there is so much heat in India right now that people are suffering a lot. Sometimes there is so much cold weather. Sometimes there is a tsunami. So there are so many natural calamities that really, takes away everything from us. Those are the Adi Daivik miseries. So these three types of miseries only can be overcome by chanting and by surrendering to Krishna, by by approaching the controller and maintainer of this world. And people in general do not think that far. I mean, they think that like I am helping someone. I'm, I'm opening hospitals. I'm doing some charitable events, organizing, or participating in some events which are like beneficial for the society. So I'm doing good to the society. So these are the good things. You should all do these, but along with that, you should have a Krishna consciousness included into that. You have to have the mentality that I am doing this for the Krishna, to pleasure of the Krishna and as a service to the Krishna. If you are doing this charity so that like you will get the name, fame and other things, then it is like, considered as a Shrama Eva Hi Kevalam. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it says that if your activities are not encouraging you or bringing you closer to the Krishna, then all those activities are just a labor. There is nothing else but the labor. You are just doing this activity as a as someone is carrying the big what do you say bags on his shoulders. I think someone is. Can you please everyone mute your phones? I see someone's phone is unmuted and okay. Thank you so much. So it is Shrama Eva Hi Kevalam. So Krishna talks in very detail about this devotional service. What is this? How you can develop devotional service? For that, you have to know who Krishna is. So he talks in length about how you can see Krishna everywhere in this material world, because we always believe in our senses so much that even if we know that we are not this body, still we try to uh, believe in things which only we can see with our eyes, and like whatever our intelligence is processing, whatever we heard from others. So all these senses are very dominating, and that's why Krishna is saying that if you look around and if you're drinking water, then the taste of water is because of me. If you're looking at the sun and moon who are giving the light and life to everyone, all these plants are because of this sunlight. All these rasas or all these taste and juices in the fruits and nice smell in the flower, they are all due to the moonlight, and both are coming from me only. I'm that. If you see any person who is doing who is having like lot of strength, that strength is me. Who is very shrewd politician, then like whatever those qualities are, that those are distinguishing him from others is me. So everything exalted, everything that is you see that like very exclusive and very attractive qualities in this material world, in whoever you see, whoever you look at, if they are very attractive looking, if they are having very power, if they are having fame, if they are having some talent, everything is coming from Krishna. So this is like a chapter, and Krishna slowly try to give this knowledge to Arjuna about how to see Krishna everywhere. And then there is a Virat Roop and everything. And then the 12th chapter is dedicated only to the Bhakti Yoga. And he's talking about how these devotees are. And it's a wonderful chapter. And after that, Krishna comes to the chapter, which is chapter 13, and he talks about the Prakriti. He talks about this material world, because after this devotional service, or this all the chapters which are based on the Bhakti Yoga are done, then starts the Jnana Yoga. So the last six chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is for Jnana Yoga. So Krishna talks about the nature, the enjoyer, the consciousness. That is the name of this chapter. So this Prakriti is something which is made up of three gunas, and how they are the ones who are entangling us in this material world, and they are the reason why we are not able to give up this material life and go to the Krishna. Because after understanding the devotional service, it looks so amazing. There are so many benefits, and it's only anand. There is no other miseries, there is nothing else. So why people are not taking this devotional service? And reason is given in the next six chapters, that like because of this material nature, because this material nature, how it is keeping us here, how it is how it forces us to act in certain way. And after explaining that, then Krishna again talks about the three modes of material nature in detail, that how these three modes work in different way, how you can see those qualities in others and recognize it, how you can see in yourself that where you are, like am I at the very bottom with the tamo gun influenced, because tamo gun is the one which is forcing us to act lazy. They are ignorant, they don't want to, they the way they eat is also very dirty food, or we will say that that food is not recommended for the human being. So that is all tamogun. Then comes the um, um Rajogun. Rajogun is it's like a virya ras. It is like having a leadership quality, or you are having business like qualities, and then you are having a quality to protect others. So that is a um, Rajogun, and after that is the Sattva Gun. Sattva Guna are having all the best qualities. So all these quality Krishna explains, so that we can recognize that where we are, and we can rise above those qualities. If we are at the Tamogun, rise to up to the level of the Sattva Gun. If you are at the Rajogun, rise up to the Sattva Gun. But then for the devotional service, you have to rise above all these three qualities. And Krishna is explaining how you can be in a spiritual mood all the time and above these all three qualities. So that is a chapter 14. After that, Krishna explained in chapter 15 about this material world being the reflection of the spiritual world. And after explaining that, this material world, and how and where, twigs are like the sense object, and then there are so many different species, and we are traveling from one branch to another branch. So if you can imagine a upside down tree, and on each branch there are some people, there are some animals, there are some different species, and they are some branches are like having really tamogun qualities. Tamogun qualities means, again, they are in very ignorant people, or very ignorant animals. And then there are some branches where there are like rajoguni human beings, and there are some branches where there are sattva-guni human beings, and above them, there are so many rishis and all. So if you can imagine that tree, so that is all explained in the 15th chapter. And then Krishna talks about the on these branches, where Krishna was explaining in the 15th chapter, he's talking about the people who are entangled completely in this material world, and they are going down and down. Every day they are just degrading. They are going they are good to bad to worst. They are every day going down and down and down. So Krishna is talking about those qualities which are taking you down in this chapter, and also those quality which will take you to the higher and higher and higher. So in this material world, where we are entangled, and we are part of this upside down tree, where we are, we can examine ourselves, and also we can develop these godly qualities in ourselves. also Krishna is talking about this chapter and giving Arjuna all the demonic qualities very, in very details he talk about the demonic qualities. Only in first three shlokas he talks about the godly qualities, but the rest all chapter is about the demonic qualities. So here Krishna is also telling Arjuna that if you look carefully, you will see all these qualities in uh, Duryodhana. Duryodhan, Dushyasan, they are having all these qualities. So it is a duty of a Kshatriya and it is a duty of a godly person to protect the society from these demonic people, because how these demonic people are affecting and how they are going to take the society down, that is also given in this chapter. And that is what is like kind of Krishna wanted to give this knowledge and encourage Arjuna to fight and get ready for the fighting, because we know that like in the very beginning Arjuna is very um, having very painful situation that he is not willing to kill his cousins and his gurus and his teachers and his uncles, and like so many respectable people were there. There were like Bhishma, Dronacharya. So he was hesitating to start this war, and Krishna is talking this Bhagavad Gita so that he will be enlightened, and he will act in this war as just an instrument. Krishna is still saying that like fighting is not good. It is not like we are promoting violence. Fighting is never ever good. Violence is never ever good, but some little bit of violence to do the good for the society is very very necessary. So in this regard, Prabhupada, I will tell a story. I don't know if I mentioned it in last 10th class, but one of the Buddhist monk and Prabhupada, they were like a Buddhist monk came to see Prabhupada, and he was saying that like, we will never ever do any kind of a violence. And then in Bhagavad Gita, there is Krishna is encouraging for fighting and war, and that's going on. So Prabhupada said that you are having disciples, lot of disciples are there, and there are some wonderful young ladies are also there as a, in your sangha. So if someone is bothering these ladies and they are doing like, bad things to these ladies when you are like doing your services, what will you do? Are you not going to protect them? And that monk said that he thought for a while, and because he wanted to keep his statement valid that like we don't do violence, he said that no, I will not I will not take any kind of action. I will keep quiet. And then all the ladies, they hesitated and they didn't like the answer by that monk. So here Prabhupada was saying that like, sometimes violence is very, very necessary to protect the good people, to protect ladies, children, to protect the weak people in the society. And it is a duty of a Kshatriya. It is a duty of the most powerful people to protect all of them. And that is the reason they should be very knowledgeable in recognizing that what are the godly qualities, what are the demonic qualities, so that they can distinguish one from other, and they will be able to recognize and understand that whom I should protect and from whom I should be protecting. So in Krishna consciousness, it is never ever said that like, you just chant, but you have to wisely think about all this environment around us, wisely study ourselves where we are, wisely think if there are like bad qualities. Because when I'm doing some gardening nowadays, and you see so many weeds, like, it will keep on growing even if you remove them so many times. So you have to go back and recheck ourselves again and again, because these qualities, even if you are in the good sangha, even if so, it will keep on coming. So you have to remove them from your nature, and also you have to recognize where there is a lot of weed or where there is a lot of poisonous trees are there. You have to protect yourself and others from going there. That means you have to protect from certain people and demonic people from influencing the society and from taking it more and more towards the hellish life. So this is the purpose of studying this particular chapter, because everyone wonders that, like, after talking wonderfully about the devotional service, why Krishna is including all this chapter. Another main thing is, in the beginning chapters, Arjuna was asking questions. So we always see that, like, many chapters are ended with Arjuna's question or inquiry, or many chapter begins with Arjuna's question, and Krishna's response to that question is that complete chapter. But here, the chapter number 14, 15, and 16 chapter, Krishna is he himself started this conversation. Arjuna never asked about this upside down tree or about these demonic and godly qualities, but but Krishna is giving this very important knowledge, so that as a Kshatriya he will do his duty perfectly, and so that, like, we, all the readers of this Bhagavad Gita, can also identify these qualities in ourselves. So we will start with this first three shlokas, which are like describing all the godly qualities. There are 26 godly qualities given here, and Prabhupada, he asked all of his disciples to kind of memorize these three verses or write down these godly qualities, 26 godly qualities, and keep it, on the wall somewhere, so that you will keep on looking at these godly qualities, and you will work towards developing those. You have to practice. Sometimes these qualities are not in you by nature, because there are so many impressions, so many lives we collected, so many things, and so many sanskaras are there, so many qualities are there, and all those impressions we are carrying. So if you look within yourself, so there is an impression from so many lives, so you will see some of the bad qualities or demonic qualities in small or a big quantities in ourselves. So we have to practice towards removing those qualities and develop these godly qualities. So let's see, we will begin this chapter by studying these three qualities. So chapter 16, the divine and demonic nature. So these three verses we will recite in Sanskrit, and then we will slowly we will read the purport one paragraph at a time, and we will discuss these qualities. Uh, Haladar Das Prabhuji, please kindly recite these shlokas, and we will all take a turn to recite. It is like six, seven people are there. So we will just directly recite Haladar Das Prabhuji. Uh, we will follow you. Thank you, Haribol.
Dhanyavad Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
So this
Krishna.
is on page 615, English Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, the divine and demonic natures. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Now, as usual, we can recite either in a Sanskrit or in English way, which Prabhupada has decompounded the Sanskrit words. So I'll read it and then recite it. So the Abhayam Sattva Samstuddhir Jnana Yoga Vyavastiti Danam Damascha Yagnascha Twadhyayas Tap Arjavam Ahimsa Satyama Tyaga Santirapaisunam Daya Bhute Swaloluptam Madhavam Hirachapalam Tejaha Kshamadriti Saucham Adroho Natimanita Bhavanti Sampadam Devim Abhijatasya Bharat. You can recite either way you preferred, I'll just go regular way. So Abhayam Sattva Samsuddhir Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi Danam Damascha Yagnascha Swadhyayastapa Arjavam Ahimsa Satyam Akrodhas Tyagaha Shantirapaishanam Daya Bhuteshwaloluptam Madhavam Hira Chapalam Tejaha Kshamadriti Saucham Adroho Natimanita Bhavanti Sampadam Devim Abhijatasya Bharata. Hare Krishna Mataji. Try it, please.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So we will recite these three shlokas. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhir Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi दानं दमश्च यज्ञश्च स्वाध्यायस्तप आर्जवम् अहिंसा सत्यमक्रोधस्त्यागः शान्तिर्पैष्णुनम् दया भूतेष्वलो लुप्तम् मार्दवम् हरिचापलम् तेजः क्षमा धृतिः शौचं द्रोहो नीतिमानिता भवन्ति सम्पदं दैवीर्मिभि अभिजान अभिजातस्य भारत. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Please take turns and recite these verses. You can go slow if you don't know Sanskrit, if you are reciting for the first time. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sumati's reading. Shri Bhagavan अभ्यं सत्त्वसंशुद्धिर्ज्ञानयोगव्यवस्थिता दानं दमश्च यज्ञश्च स्वाध्यायस्तपार्जवम् अहिंसा सत्यम् अक्रोधस्त्यागशान्तिरपैशुनम् दायभूतेष्वलोलुप्त्वम् वार्धवम् ह्रीरचापलम् तेजश्चामधृतिशौचम् अद्रोहो नातिमानिता भवन्ति सम्पदं दैवम् अभिजातस्य भारत.
Beautiful.
Very nice.
Hare Krishna, Harshita speaking. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhe Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi Danam Damascha Yagnascha Svadhyayastapa Arjavam अहिंसा सत्यमक्रोधस्त्यागः शान्तिरपैशुनम् दया भूतेष्व अलोलुप्त्वं माधवम् रे अचापलम् तेजः क्षमा धृतिः शौचम् अद्रोहो नातिमानिता भवन्ति सम्पदं दैवीम् अभिजातस्य भारत. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Nice.
Anybody else would like to try?
Hare Krishna. Shri Bhagwan Uvacha Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhim Dhyana Yoga Vyavasthitihi Danam Damascha Yagyascha Swadhyayastapa Arjavam Ahimsa Satyam Akrodhas Tyaga Shanti Rapaishunam Daya Bhuteshwalo Luptvam Mardavam Rirchapalam Teja Kshama Dhriti Shocham Adroho Natimanita Bhavanti Sampadam Devim Abhijatasya Bharata. Hare Krishna.
Very good.
Can I try, Mataji?
Yes, please.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Abhayam Sattva Samasuddhir Jnanam Yoga Vivastita Danam Damascha Yagnascha Svadhyayasya Tapa Arjavam Ahimsa Satyam Akrodhas Tyaga Santir Apashunam Vyaya Bhutesva Alolupatvam Patvam Marthavam Hiri Achapalam Tejas Samadhita Socham Adroho Nati Manita Bhavanti Sampadam Devim Abhigyanastasya Bharata. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna. Sorry, Mataji, please go ahead.
No, go ahead, Mataji.
Shri Bhagwan Uvacha Abhayam Sattvam Shuddhi Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi Danam Damascha Yajnascha Swadhyaya Stapa Arjavam Ahimsa Satyam Krodhas Tyagaha Shantira Paishunam Daya Bhuteshwalo Luptam Madhavam Hirachapalam Tejaha Kshama Dhritihi Shaucham Adroho Nati मानिता भवन्ति सम्पदं दैवीम् अभिजातस्य भारत. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna. Anybody else? Okay. So we will go with word to word translation or synonym for these words. So Shri Bhagavanu Vacha, the Supreme Personality of a Godhead said. So Krishna is saying this. Abhayam means fearlessness. Sattva Samshuddhi, purification of one's existence. Jnana, in knowledge. Yoga, of linking up. Yavastitihi means the situation. Danam means charity. Daman means controlling the mind. Cha and Yajanaha means Yajnaha means performance of sacrifice. Cha and Swadhyaya, study of the Vedic literature. Tapam, austerity. Arjavam, simplicity. Ahimsa, non-violence. Satyam, truthfulness. Akrodha, freedom from anger. Tyagaha, renunciation. Shantihi, tranquility. Apis, apisnuha.
Apashanam.
What is it,
Apashanam.
Prabhuji?
Apashanam.
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 Thank you, Prabhuji. So, aversion to fault finding. Daya means mercy. Bhuteshu means towards all living entity. Aloluptvam means freedom from greed. Mardavam means gentleness. Rita means modesty. Akalpam means determination. Tejas is what is this? Why? What is the meaning of that in Marathi? I'll have to check that. And then Kshama means forgiveness. Tritihi means fortitude. Saucham means cleanliness. Adroha means freedom from envy. Adroha. And Na means not. Atimanita means expectations of the honor. Bhavanti are sampada, the qualities. Uh, Daivin means the transcendental nature. Abhijatasya means of one who is born of Bharata, O son of Bharata. So Bharat Maharaj and so many uh, great personalities, ancestor of Arjun Maharaj, they were possessing this godly quality. That's why Krishna is calling here Arjuna, O Bharata. So know that you all this quality belongs to you. And after like few verses, he again clarifies that and he tells Arjuna the same thing that like you possess all these qualities. But why he mentions like him as a Bharata here, that is the reason that because Bharat Maharaj and many others they were possessing these qualities. So translation. The Supreme Personality of a Godhead said, fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault findings, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, rigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy and from the passion for honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to godly men endowed with divine nature. Hari Bol, Hari Krishna. Now we will read the purport. This translation and purports are by Nitya Leela Pravishta, His Holiness Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Anybody would like to volunteer to read this first paragraph?
I'll do it, Mataji.
Yes. So just first paragraph.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. In the beginning of 15th chapter, the banyan tree of this material world was explained. The extra roots coming out of it were compared to the activities of the living entity. Some auspicious, some inauspicious. In 9th chapter, also the devas or godly and the asuras, the ungodly or demons, were explained. Now, according to the Vedic rites, activities in the mode of goodness are considered auspicious for progress on the path of liberations. And such activities are known as a Devi Prakriti, transcendental by nature. Those who are situated in the transcendental nature makes progress on the path of liberations. For those who are acting in the modes of the passion and ignorance, on other hand, there is no possibility of liberations. Either they will have to remain on this material world as human beings, or they will descend among the species of animals or even lower life forms. In the 16th chapter, the Lord explained both the transcendental nature and its attendant qualities, and the demonic nature and its qualities. He also explained the advantages and the disadvantages of these qualities. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you. So here again, the connection, Prabhupada is explaining that what is the connection between the 15th chapter and 16th chapter, why Krishna suddenly started talking about this Devi qualities. So here, Prabhupada is saying that as we were talking earlier, that like down tree, Krishna explains, and that is the material world. And Krishna explains that in all these branches, there are godly and ungodly people or living beings are there on this tree. And then what happens to the ungodly people or these demons? What happens to them? That they will either take a birth in the lower species, or they will go more and more into the hellish planet. So you have to protect yourself, or you have to understand that what should not be, what kind of a qualities you should be avoiding, or you should not be developing. That if you see those qualities within you, you have to remove that and see the good qualities or the godly qualities. Those are the ones that you have to practice and develop within you. So both these are very important, and we should study it very carefully, and that is why Krishna is explaining it in detail. So this is the introduction by Srila Prabhupada. So next paragraph, Sumati Mataji, would you like to read these two paragraphs, please? They are small.
The word avijatasya in reference to one born of transcendental qualities or godly tendencies is very significant. To beget a child in a godly atmosphere is known in the Vedic scriptures as garbhadhana samskara. If the parents want a child in the godly qualities, they should follow the 10 principles recommended for the social life of the human being. In the Bhagavad Gita, we have studied also before that sex life for begetting a good child is Krishna himself. Sex life is not condemned, provided the process is used in Krishna consciousness. Those who are in Krishna consciousness at least should not beget children like cats and dogs, but should beget them so they may become Krishna conscious after birth. That should be the advantage of children born of a father and mother absorbed in Krishna consciousness.
Thank you, Mataji. Would you like to continue one more small paragraph? Is there?
Okay, Mataji. 1 minute. The social institution known as Varnashram Dharma, the institution dividing society into 4 divisions of social life and 4 occupational divisions or castes, is not meant to divide human society according to birth. Such divisions are in terms of educational qualifications. They are They are to keep society in a state of peace and prosperity. The qualities mentioned herein are explained as transcendental qualities meant for making a person progress in spiritual understanding so he can get liberated from the material world. Hare Krishna.
Haribol. Thank you so much. So these two paragraphs, Prabhupada is explaining about this abhijatasya. Let's see in the verse where this particular word is coming. Abhayam sattva shuddhir, and if you read this shloka very carefully, Daivim abhijatasya bharata. That is the last line, third shloka, where Prabhupada is explaining that particular word. That abhijatasya is in reference to the birth of a child with the godly qualities, or like someone who is having these all the godly qualities. And Prabhupada said that it starts from the Garbhadan Sanskar, means even before even the birth of that child, or like before even the um, uh, you know we will say that like before you go and stay in some house, we need to do the cleaning of that house. We get it ready first and then we move to that new place. So it is like that. It's like Garbhadan Sanskar means like that, Garbha, before even Garbha appear in the womb of the mother, that Sanskar is done on the womb of the mother, so that like that Garbha will come and now resides in it. And during that complete 9 months, what that mother is supposed to do, how she's supposed to keep herself, like, always in the what consciousness, what mood, it is all given in our scriptures. And that is the way, I mean, if you follow that all, you can beget a godly children with a godly qualities. So here Prabhupada is encouraging that we should give birth to a godly children, and those children, and after that immediately Prabhupada is talking about the varnashram dharma. So those children, according to the qualities they have, according to their their inclination, they will choose the occupation, and according to occupation again there are rules and regulation how you to behave in this material world. I mean, the way, if you are developing a qualities of all the Brahminical qualities you are having, that child is having, then you should encourage that child to learn the Vedas and then to teach the Vedas later. And he should be in gone through all the four different ashramas, and he should follow his dharma throughout his life. If he is having a quality of a kshatriya, then he should behave that way. So this is what is Varnashram Dharma is. So once a child is born with the godly qualities, giving him, like looking at his inclination, giving him the proper training is also duty of a parents. And then the later this child will be, this child must situate himself in this Varnashram Dharma, or in the society, follow this Dharma very strictly and do his duty as per his inclination or the qualities. Okay. Now again we will talk about the Varnashram Institute and about the sannyasi, the last ashram of this Varnashram. So can anybody would like to read this? Vikas Prabhu, would you like to read? Okay, Sumati Mataji, you may continue. Or Arshita Mataji, whoever is.
Yes, Mataji. The Varnashram institution, in the Varnashram institution, the sannyasi, or the person in the renounced order of life, is considered to be the head or the spiritual master of all the society of all the social statuses and orders. A Brahmana is considered to be the spiritual master of the three other sections of society, namely the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas, and the Shudras. But a sannyasi who is on the top of the institution is considered to be the spiritual master of the Brahmanas also. For sannyasi, the first qualification should be fearlessness, because a sannyasi has to be alone without any support or guarantee of support. He has simply to depend on the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If one thinks, after I leave my connections, who will protect me? He should not accept the renounced order of life. One must be fully convinced that Krishna, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in his localized aspect as Paramatma, is always within. He is seeing everything, and he always knows what one intends to do. One must thus have firm conviction that Krishna, as Paramatma, will take care of a soul surrendered to him. I shall never be alone, one should think. Even if I live in the darkest regions of a forest, I shall be accompanied by Krishna. He will give me all protection. That conviction is called abhyam fearlessness. This state of mind is necessary for a person in the renounced order of life. Hare Krishna.
Mm. Thank you so much. So here we are talking about the first quality, that is the abhayam. Abhayam means like fearlessness. Our Srila Prabhupada's name is also Abhay, Abhay Charanaravindam. So, what is this quality and how you can develop this quality? Because we are always afraid about so many things in this material world. Anytime you are sitting in your home and anything can happen, any kind of a calamity can come and hit our house. Our complete life will get uh, you know it will destroy our life. So many things are there, and always we are worried about it, and that's the reason we buy so many insurances, insurance policies, this and that, for house, for car, for our life insurances. So this all shows that there is a fear in the society. No one can say that we are fearless, or we are not worried about anything that is going around us. But there are some people here. Prabhupada is mentioning that, like, in the Varnashram system, the highest ashram of all is the sannyas ashram, and in sannyasis they shows these kind of a quality. And how do they develop this quality? Is they take sannyas after only surrendering to Krishna completely. So even like if you see the Sharanagati, like, I mean, there is a definition of Sharanagati and it is described in two shlokas. So if you see that carefully, you will see that it is a in order to surrender to Krishna, or in order to say ourselves devotee, you have to have a strong conviction that Krishna will protect me all the time, that Krishna is taking care of me and he will always protect me. So once you have that kind of a strong conviction, once you believe in Krishna that he will always protect me, then there will be abhayam quality will be developed in you. So here Prabhupada is describing about the Abhayam by giving us or by talking about the sannyasi. And also in many lectures, he had given a very nice example that very young child or a baby, if parents are holding them, then they will kind of throw them in the ear, that child, and then catch them. You will see only in India. I mean, you don't see it here in USA. But in India, parents do that most of the time. Like, they are like, throwing the baby in the air and then catching. So very first time you will see that baby's face. It's little baby. It's very unsure, or like it's something new for the baby, and he's not sure that what will happen next. So he is very afraid of like that particular act. But once baby is, having this conviction or strong faith that my parent is going to catch me, then after that he starts enjoying that particular act. Then whenever you throw baby like in the air, baby will start laughing, and when parents catch him, then baby will enjoy that act. So same way, Krishna is also throwing up in the air by putting us into the different situation, or different um, uh, I'll say disturbed situation, so that we should develop our faith that ultimately Krishna is going to catch us. We get like very disturbed at the very first time, but we have to have that strong faith in Krishna that he is going to catch me. And finally, the when you come to this sannyas order of a life, or when you become a Vaishnava, that strong conviction will come that in any situation Krishna will protect me. And that's why when you see these Vaishnavas, these devotees, you see them like they are very fearless. They are very they will do so many things without, there were these young very young I will say girls and boys that Prabhupada sent them directly to the UK and said them, like, start a temple there. They had no clue what to do, but still they went because they had a complete faith in Prabhupada and they had a complete faith in Krishna. That we are doing something good for the Krishna to please Krishna. So definitely Krishna will help us and he will protect us. So nobody ever questioned that who will protect me, who will take care of me. Or whenever they all visited to India, they were staying in so many different places. There were some says that there were, like, snakes and all. When these American girls and boys they saw for the first time, they were very scared of that. But then later, because of this Prabhupada's teaching and strong faith in Krishna, they started believing that Krishna will protect me in any situation. So that strong faith in Krishna, strong faith that Krishna will always protect me, will create this quality of abhayam. Okay, let's go to the next quality. And next quality is purifying our existence. Mataji, can you please continue reading? Yes, you can read, Mataji. Some Mataji just wrote Sundar. Yeah, please go ahead. Surinder Bhandari ji, please go ahead if you would like to read.
No, please pass on.
Okay, someone else wrote it. Okay. Sri Radha Radhe
Hare Krishna Mat.
Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
Then he has to purify his existence. There are so many rules and regulations to be followed in the renounced order of life. Most important of all, a sannyasi is strictly forbidden to have any intimate relationship with a woman. He is even forbidden to talk with a woman in a secluded place. Lord Chaitanya was an ideal sannyasi, and when he was at Puri, his feminine devotees could not even come near to offer their respects. They were advised to bow down from a distant place. This is not a sign of hatred for women as a class, but it is a strict structure imposed on the sannyasi not to have close connection with women. One has to follow the rules and regulation of a particular status of life in order to purify his existence. For a sannyasi, intimate relations with a woman and possession of wealth for sense gratification are strictly forbidden. The ideal sannyasi was Lord Chaitanya himself, and we can learn from his life that he was very strict in regards to women. Although he is considered to be the most liberal incarnation of Godhead, accepting the most fallen conditioned souls, he strictly followed the rules and regulation of the sannyas order of life in connection with association with women. One of his personal associates named Chota Haridas was associated with Lord Chaitanya along with his other confidential personal associates. But somehow or other, this Chota Haridas looked lustily on a young woman. Lord Chaitanya was so strict, and he at once rejected him from the society of his personal associates. Lord Chaitanya said, for a sannyasi or anyone who is aspiring to get out of the clutches of material nature and trying to elevate himself to the spiritual nature and go back home, back to Godhead, for him looking towards material possessions and women for sense gratification, not even enjoying them, but just looking toward them with such a prosperity is so condemned that he had better commit suicide before experiencing such illicit desires. So these are the processes for purifications. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Mataji. So now here explain the process of purification. So this is given for the sannyasis, and Prabhupada given us four regulative principles, very simple rules so that we can purify our life and stay away from all these bad qualities and getting into this situation where, like, um, our thoughts will get impure. So to purify ourselves, Prabhupada had given four, just simple four rules, and one of them is no meat eating, because that will lead to ahimsa quality, because then you are looking at everyone with a very everyone is a part and part of a Krishna. So you're looking at that loving, with the loving eyes towards all of them. So you don't have to cut and eat all those animals. So no meat eating, and those rules are given. Then Prabhupada asked all the devotees to avoid the intoxication, because that will dilute your intelligence, and you will not be in a proper, you will not be once properly situated. It is very hard for anyone to discriminate between the good and bad. So that's why you have to be always awakened. This is a process of awakening our. So there is no intoxication, no gambling, because then the cheating propensity will increase, and then no illicit sex. So here Prabhupada is explaining more about the sannyasis, how they should be very strictly following the not only illicit sex, but not only looking at the female disciple, or not only having the association with the female disciple. And Prabhupada, he himself was following all this very strictly. I mean, like, even like once Prabhupada was there, he was at the age of 75, and his sister, who was 70-year-old, he came into room to discuss something, and then one of his American disciples, he left that room, that he thought like they both want a privacy there, discussing some matter, this brother and sister. So he left the room, and Prabhupada immediately called that disciple and said that, like, why did you leave me with a female, alone in this room? And that's how Prabhupada, by showing his own example, he was, spreading this Krishna consciousness, and each and every rule that we see, Prabhupada himself was following very strictly. So it is very, so there are so many Guru Maharajas in our parampara who are sannyasis, and some are brahmacharis. But if you notice that, like, if a female body wants to ask any question, then there will be their other assistant, they will be present all the time, or you will have to go with your husband to approach that disciple. If the grahastha acharyas are there, or the grahastha guru varga are there, they are always sitting with their spouses, so that, like, so this is very strictly followed in ISKCON, and this is a very important uh, rule to be followed if you want to purify your existence. Because the moment you get this opportunity, your mind will start thinking, impure thoughts will touch your mind, because you are in this material life, material world, and there is Maya is so strong that it is very difficult to fight and come over the Maya. So better to follow the rules. If you know that, like, something, to the child, when you say that, like, oh, there is a fire, don't put your hand inside that fire, but child wants to try that, like, how it feels. And ultimately, when he put the hand, he will get that burning sensation, or his hand will burn. So why to do even and go and test yourself? I mean, Prabhupada is saying to always keep yourself, keep a distance from the female associate, disciples, your god sisters, god siblings, everyone. You have to keep this to purify your existence, purify your life, and also to follow strictly the other regulative principles. Also, that also helps to for the purification. What helps is following these ekadashis. Like, every month there are 2 ekadashis, we follow them strictly, so again it is also to purify our existence. So all these rules in, if you see the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, there are 64 rules are given, but we don't have to worry about all 64. We have to start very slowly and add one at a time these rules, and you yourself will come to the conclusion that yes, it works, and it is purifying my life, it is purifying my thoughts. Because every day, if you read, hear about the Krishna, his activity, his glories, if you are sitting with the people who are talking about this Krishna's activities, if you are following all these rules and regulation in somewhat, like, you are doing little bit of everything you are trying to do, then that definitely gives you this change in your heart, or that it definitely shows you that how this process works. So try it yourself, and this definitely works. And what Prabhupada is saying, that we have to really carefully read and follow this all in our life. Now the next is Prabhupada talks about the charity, because after purifying our existence, charity
Mataji,
is another way to purify our existence. Charity, giving something that is like, money, that, like, with our uh, we're taking so much of a effort, whatever we are earning, giving that to someone, that is like a really big thing. And when you do that particular thing, and when you do that donation, when you do that charity, it also develops a godly quality within you. You go one step above. So charity is also recommended. And if you open the 18th chapter, it talks very detail about whom should be charity given, what time charity should be given, and how should be this charity given. Because the way people give the charity, sometimes it is not going to give you the good result. So in the Bhagavad Gita, it is literally a manual, and you have to read this carefully, all this instruction to do these activities. So even if you are doing good to the society, that might come back to you, or like that might give a um, different effect. Instead of doing good to the society, it might not do good to the society or yourself, if this charity is not given properly to the proper person, proper time, and in proper consciousness. So you have to be very careful while doing these activities. So let's hear this purport, what Prabhupada had explained about the charity.
Before you go, Mataji,
Yes.
can I say some people are asking these questions, even in the past, that
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has a strict rules to stay away from the women forms,
Yes.
And now here, according to the Gaudiya Sampradaya, they were not initiating any women in the past. No.
Right.
Prabhupada came in the West and he started initiating women. And there is a difference between, right now, there is a difference between Gaudiya Sampradaya and ISKCON. So what was the reason deeply of Prabhupada to give initiated the women forms, What were the reasons?
First of all, like in the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam also, it is said that bhakti is something which is not limited to only particular, man body or any particular body, or even it was long back only Brahmana's rights to read the scripture. It was kept or divided in that way. And that was also for some reason, because they were having that kind of a intelligence to understand the scripture properly. Now, as this time is progressing, there is no one in particular word. Now all are considered as a Shudra, and women are also part of this society. So in order to give them also a chance to do this bhakti properly, Prabhupada had started this movement. In olden days, like, men were so advanced and men were spiritually so much engaged that women, even if she is only serving her husband, then only she used to get all the benefit back, just following her husband and just serving her husband. Nowadays we see that society is so much disturbed that, like, there are relations, broken relations. And so women as a separate entity, they also need all this knowledge and Krishna consciousness, and that is the reason Prabhupada. But I heard this in bit and pieces in different lectures, but let me read and go back to the lecture. Why? What are the reasons? Because there is a book called as a Prabhupada's Daughters, and that talks about all the disciple, all the female disciple. Most of them are in foreign body, and Prabhupada, and they wrote about the Prabhupada. So let me go back and check for you, Prabhuji, and I can talk about it more in the next class.
I don't count me as the objections. I just want to know, and some people asking me, that's reason I just want to be explain these things.
Yes.
Okay.
Then let me give you with reference, Prabhuji, because I want to give you the reference also, the exact word of Prabhupada. If somewhere it is written, then you can definitely share it with others.
Okay. Thank you, Mata. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Hari Bol. Prabhuji, would you like to read about the charity?
Oh, the next paragraph?
Yes. Sorry, it was the Jnana
Next.
Yoga.
Jnana Yoga. Oh,
Yes.
okay, sure. The next item is the Jnana Yoga, the Vyavasthiti, being engaged in the cultivations of knowledge. Sannyasi life is meant for the distributing knowledge to the householders and others who have forgotten their real life of spiritual advancements. A sannyasi is supposed to beg from door to door for the livelihoods. But this does not mean that he is a beggar. Humility is also the qualifications of the transcendentally situated person. And out of sheer humility, the sannyasi goes from door to door, not exactly for the purpose of begging, but to see the householder and awaken them to Krishna consciousness. This is the duty of sannyasi. If he is actually advanced and so ordered by his spiritual master, he should preach Krishna consciousness with the logic and understanding. And if one is not so advanced, he should not accept the renounced order of life. But even if one has accepted the renounced order of life without a sufficient knowledge, he should engage himself fully in hearing from the bona fide spiritual masters to cultivate knowledge. A sannyasi or one in the renounced order of life must be situated in fearlessness, sattva-suddhi, purity, and jnanoga, knowledge. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So here Prabhupada is saying about the sannyasis, but actually all of us have a responsibility to take this Krishna consciousness, this knowledge, and distribute it to everyone. And we all of us are doing in some or the other way by passing on the messages of our Acharya, by distributing the book, by distributing the prasadam. So Prabhupada engaged all his disciples in doing that, not just a sannyasi in like distributing this knowledge. And that's why Prabhupada is also very much in not made a rule that every day you must study the scripture, every day you must study Srimad Bhagavatam. So all the temples, they are conducting the Srimad Bhagavatam classes in the morning. We are all supposed to read a few pages of a Srimad Bhagavatam every day, and also Bhagavad Gita every day. So all this cultivation of knowledge is necessary so that you will be able to spread this Krishna consciousness. It's not just about the emotion. It's not something like we are in love with the Krishna, we are devotees of the Krishna. That means just you are emotionally attached to this. You have to have a knowledge also, and you should have a proper consciousness also. That is the only way we can be properly situated in Krishna consciousness, and we will be able to spread this Krishna consciousness to others. So this is a very important part, very important quality, and we see that how Prabhupada is strictly asking all his disciples to kind of acquire this knowledge in their life and study these scriptures very scrutinizingly. He wrote so many places that study my scriptures very scrutinizingly. Also, Prabhupada wrote very strictly that you have to listen this knowledge from your Diksha Guru. Every day you have to listen to the lectures given by your Diksha Guru and Prabhupada, and that is the only way or only channel that you will come closer to the Krishna. If you are not listening to your Guru and you are listening to everyone else, then that might not even help. So Prabhupada strictly said that listen to your Diksha Guru, because they are the ones who are passing on this knowledge, and they are the ones who are connecting you to the Parampara. So these are some of the things that we have to really keep it in mind, and we have to focus on becoming fearlessness or developing the quality of fearlessness, then purify our existence and acquire this knowledge. Acquiring knowledge also helps purifying our existence. But tapashcharya, dan, charity, these are some things, and following strict rules and regulations or regulative principles, staying away from the illicit sex. These are the things that will purify your existence. So Prabhupada had given a lot of stress on these qualities. So we will stop here and we will start from the charity in our next class. These are 26 qualities. So I think we will take few lectures to complete this 3 shlokas. Is there any question or anything that you want to reflect upon that you have heard so far? And also, I was while you were reading Haladadas Prabhuji, I remember that there were some female disciple in our Gaudiya Sampradaya even before like Prabhupada started giving dikshas to the female disciple. So I will give more knowledge to you in the next class. So it's not that something very unusual Prabhupada started. Even here also the a paragraph says that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati was having a female disciple, but they were not allowed to come closer. So, so females were in spiritual. I mean, there were some great females. Yeah, yeah. So that they were part of Gaudiya Sampradaya also.
In reality, now ISKCON has a more female devotees than the man devotees, man. And they
Yeah.
are more serving Lord Krishna, I mean, with the pure hearts. Because women are more receptive nature, by the nature, women body is a more receptive. So the Gopi Mataji and Radha Mataji is considered the most beautiful devotees of the Krishna, and Lord Krishna is always with them all the time. So
Yes.
I mean, I'm not, but I hear a lot of questions like that. Like if people say, if Prabhupada started like this, so why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has discriminated, with the women? And other words, they mention not to come closets. So a lot of common questions are very difficult to answer it.
Right,
So,
I understand. So maybe we
I
will
mean, time
discuss about
changes,
it.
time.
Yeah.
And the Gaudiya Sampradaya has been strictly with no women allowed, and now it's been changed. So people ask questions,
Right, right. So Prabhupada also like made sure that like this female ashram is different and male ashram they are different. If they want to be these were like Westerners, so if they want to be together, then get married. That those were the rules that time too. So let me find out more, Prabhuji, and we will talk
Other
about it.
questions you can ask. Did Prabhupada broke the rules of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Please let me know. I know I can answer the people about it.
Sure, I will definitely. We will talk about it next time.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Hare. Thank you.
Hare.
Anything else? Anybody?
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Lot of learning today. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Mataji, can I ask you a question then about this? What Prabhuji asked? So the ISKCON ashrams for ladies and men, they can't be together, right?
Yes.
So if they are together, would that be breaking Prabhupada's rules? But they all are sannyasis and they're all working towards his mission.
Yeah, Mataji, I had not seen like any ashram with the ladies and they are in the same place. But as I said that let me learn about it more and in next class we can talk or discuss about this topic.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you have any question or any comment on what you have heard so far about these three qualities, fearlessness or about the purifying ourselves and cultivating knowledge, so you can comment.
One question about fearlessness, like it talks about that you should be convinced that Krishna sits in your heart and guides you, and if you are convinced and you're a sannyasi and you're going out there and you just, and if you're not convinced, then don't go. So like if anybody can just like chant and go, and if they become homeless, then they should be convinced that Krishna is there to guide them and to protect them, and their only protection would be Krishna. And they should have this consciousness, like if someone just goes and like Prabhupada came from one country to another country, and he was convinced that Krishna would give him shelter, food, and some service, and that did take place. But not everybody is a pure devotee, and if someone does the same thing, travels from one country to another country, and then they should be convinced that we are going with nothing in our hand, and then we only have Krishna's chanting, and then they should be convinced in their heart that Krishna will protect and Krishna will provide all the facilities that needs to be provided for them.
So Mataji, anyway, what we are doing here in this material world, and Krishna is all the time protecting us, even if we are convinced and even if we are not convinced. When the child is in womb of a mother eats so many things, she does so many activities. Who is protecting that time to that child? It's not mother protecting. Krishna is protecting all of us, even if we are not convinced, or even if we are not having faith in Krishna. He's always protecting all of us all the time. And what here explained here in that Prabhupada talks about, like taking the sannyas ashram, accepting a sannyas ashram before this conviction, before completely surrendering to at the lotus feet of Krishna, you should not be taking the sannyas ashram. That is what is mentioned in this particular paragraph, Mataji. And here in ISKCON, now the sannyasis are not supposed to go and stay in the forest or anywhere, but they are supposed to be very actively do this Krishna consciousness, very actively participate in this Krishna conscious movement, and do the devotional service and dedicate their life to the devotional service. So they are staying at different ashramas, or they are building temples, or they are helping. So they are together, like there are a group of a devotees, they are working together. All these sannyasis are not in the forest, but they are in some place and doing these devotional services. And this is allowed now. And still we should always have a faith. I mean, it doesn't matter we are sannyasi or not. Like when you are taking this Krishna consciousness moment, we have to recognize that Krishna is protecting. It is not that we are convincing ourselves. It is not something which is not true, but I'm trying to convince myself. When we say convince, then it becomes little bit different meaning also. It is to recognize and see that how Krishna is protecting us all the time. Once you see Krishna's hand in everything all the time, that he's protecting me every time, then slowly your faith in Krishna will increase, and then you will surrender more and more, and that will again Krishna reciprocate. The more you surrender, the Krishna will more he will look upon you. So that is a way of a bhakti, and that is what Prabhupada is explaining here. But actually, I didn't get. I sorry, I forgot what you asked. But is it something that is helpful for you, Mataji?
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to know, like, that like convincing, or like knowing that he's protecting you, even though like you're traveling from one country to another and you have no place to live, and you're blindly just going and taking shelter of him, and then whatever comes your way, you just say no to it because you are afraid that this is Maya. So then how do you help yourself?
If you see Prabhupada's life and Leelamrut, you will understand that, like how Prabhupada was, what things he was accepting and what thing he was rejecting. If you see the definition of surrender, then that is what it is, that accept the things which are favorable to the Krishna consciousness, reject the things which are not favorable for the Krishna consciousness, or which are not favorable for my bhakti. And third is having the firm conviction that like Krishna is protecting me all the time, surrendering to the Krishna's lotus feet. And then there are two more, that understanding that Krishna is a controller and Krishna is a maintainer. So if you see even your life, Mataji, that you came to this country and with your husband, and so you had a faith that like your husband is having a job and that they are going to take care of you, and that's how you came to this country. So there was a faith on some material people, few people. But if you try to extend that faith, that like who is providing them all these material things and who are giving them intelligence to protect you, is Krishna ultimately. So he is protecting us. Just like Prabhupada, he was like pure devotee, as you said. So along with the faith in the Krishna, he was having this mission, his guru's mission. So there was a strong blessings and protection coming from the Guru Parampara also, because he didn't came here just for earning or something like that. He came here to spread Krishna consciousness. We came here to to fulfill our senses, to our need. But Prabhupada came here in this country to spread Krishna consciousness, and that too, just because his Guru Maharaj had ordered him. So there is very lot what Prabhupada had done and what we are doing right now. But yes, even if you see the Narad Muni's life, in his previous life, he was just a small 5-year-old boy when his mother left the body, and because of the exalted devotee's presence, he had the knowledge about the Lord, and in search of a Lord, in search of a great devotee, in progressing on the path of the Krishna consciousness, he started alone towards the north, and then he went through so many forest and so many villages, and all the description is given in the Bhagavatam, that how Narad Muni traveled and how he reached to one point. So that time he just started with a firm faith, and that, like, I Krishna will protect me, and also with the faith that also with the really good intention that I want to search him. I'm going in search of him. Dhruva Maharaj went outside. He was having a mixed. I mean, it was not a pure bhakti. He started from his home with the intention that he will get a kingdom that is like more than, but he wanted to find out God. He wanted to, because of his mother asked him to go and search and talk to the Lord Narayana, why he had not, made me Suniti's child. Suniti, or who is the other one? Suniti and, okay, sorry, I'm getting the name, but his
Suniti.
Suniti. Yes.
Suniti is the mother and Sunidhi is the stepmother.
Right, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. So he started with that firm faith in the mother's word, his own mother's word, that like you go and find the Krishna and ask him that question. So that time, who was protecting them? Krishna was protecting them. He is still protecting us. And he will always protect us. But that is not recommended or told to any one of us unless and until our Guru Maharaj is giving us that kind of instruction. Prabhupada had given this instruction to his disciple, but he was having that much spiritual power to protect his disciples. So we, on our own whimsical thoughts, like we can't just start our journey without, like, so that's why we always ask everything before doing that. We take a permission from our Guru Maharaj. So when once our Guru Maharaj guides us and he gives his blessing, that means whole parampara is behind us. Krishna is behind us. So that's little bit difference, Mataji. So just starting without so Guru's instructions, and on for Guru's spreading his work. If we are doing something, then that's what is mentioned here by Prabhupada. But in any case, Krishna is protecting us, will protect us, and always protecting everyone. Whoever are faithless, who are non-believer, doesn't matter who they are following, what religion. Krishna is protecting all of us.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So it is almost 9 o'clock. We will stop our class here and we'll do the next few qualities in the next class. Thank you so much for
we have a time
for
to pray for the Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, Mataji, if we do.
Yes, Prabhuji. We I don't know if you were there, but in the beginning we
okay. I was.
You were there. Okay, yeah. So thank you everyone again. We will say the Vancha Kalpa first, and then we will chant 3 times Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Ananta Koti ki jai, Namacharya Das Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad ki jai. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj ki
jai. Thank you so much, Mataji. And Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare. Thank you
Hare
very much.
Bol. Dandavat pranam.